Hey, good morning, JD. Good morning, Kyle. Two very lucky men who were at the game yesterday. And Kyle...
It wasn't a bad game.
Yeah. when you saw the team sheet, what did you think when Kane's name wasn't there?
Well, it was actually before the team sheets arrived, when it was being reported that he hadn't travelled with the team, that the speculation started. Everyone started to ask the questions, what does this mean for Harry Kane? What does this mean for his future? If he's not even in the team, does that mean he'll be moving across to Manchester City at some point? And that puts the doubt into his future. That puts the doubt into Harry Kane as a player. Now, personally, I expected him to not play. He joined the team very late last week. New manager as well. We know that manager likes to work very closely with the players. And you had plenty of other attacking players for Tottenham that have had more of a pre-season than Harry Kane. However, you then look at it, you go, he's arrived late to training, he's had to self-isolate, there's all of this doubt, this speculation around his future as well. What does that mean for it as well? So when I finally saw that team sheet, when it was confirmed, he's not even on the subs bench against the team that he's linked to, it does look very interesting. It looks quite strange, I can't lie.
So you're in the stadium as well, JD, yesterday, and you get chatting to people, don't you? Was that all anyone was talking about?
I feel like it was like, not where's Wally, but where's Harry, honestly. It was the highlight, I thought also, was the Spurs fans and the Man City fans having their own little sing-along, almost screaming for the desire of Harry Kane's heart throughout the game. It started off with, I think the City fans went first, right? Saying Harry wants to be a blue, if I remember correctly, and then the Spurs fans retaliated towards the end.
Well, there's that banner there, look, that Kane come to City to
right there, reminding them, are you watching Harry Kane? And I just thought that kind of, first of all, exemplified what was a great weekend of football to just have fans back. But more than anything else, it just kind of highlighted what has been this transfer saga since Harry Kane has expressed openly his desire to maybe pursue a new challenge, and Manchester City being top of the list in terms of those teams that are interested to bring that English striker.
Can I just say as well, all Manchester City fans were talking about it because I was there. I did see quite a lot of the Man City fans and they were all asking me, Kyle, is it happening? Do you know anything? Are you in the know? Is he coming to Manchester City if he's not going to be in the team? So it got Man City fans quite excited as well. It wasn't just the Tottenham fans, and as you said, JD, they were quite vocal about it during the game.
I just think it's so romantic. Sometimes you just have to look at football and think to yourself, player expresses their desire to want a new challenge and let's say turn around and push in and move away from a club, and then the first game of the season is who? But Manchester City, the player that's top of the list in terms of the teams that are interested in signing that player. Sometimes you just have to admire these sort of storylines. Sometimes you have to say, we understand the nuances within football and sometimes these things play out how they're supposed to play out. But I do think it's going to be a saga that rumbles right down to deadline day, and I don't think this is the end of it.
Well, I'm going to ask you about the Tottenham angle in a moment, but going back to the Manchester City angle, Kyle, is one of the reasons people were asking you about him, saying that they really want Harry Kane, is because maybe it looked quite clear that Manchester City do need a striker.
I think the last few games have shown some of the key areas and they've highlighted where Manchester City do need to improve. Obviously, we have brought in Jack Grealish, £100 million. People are always going to say how much Manchester City have actually spent, but well, don't get me wrong, last season Man City didn't have a striker.
Yeah.
Sergio Aguero was on the bench. He only played 12 times in the Premier League. Man City still managed to score 83 goals. So if you look at all the attacking options they've got, you know that they can score goals. But yesterday, we had 3 clear chances in that first half, and Manchester City could have scored. If they've got a proven number 9 at the top, they are going to score one of those chances. They're going to put that to bed. And the game is a very, very different ending. Manchester City didn't do that. Tottenham managed to punish Manchester City on not capitalising on one of those chances that they actually had. So you look at it, you go, a striker, they do need that. 4 competitions this season for Manchester City. They want to retain that Premier League. They want to go further in the Champions League. They want to win it. Did that look like a team yesterday that can do that? No, they didn't.
I'm glad you're being honest, because I was seeing whether or not Man City fans would respond, looking at Guardiola's optimism yesterday, especially in the post-match, talking about this is the defending champions, where this is the same squad that was able to win the Premier League and do so well in Europe and all the rest of it. So I have to give them the respect. But you've been very honest there, which I like, because as much as they would have those expectations, this team is about going forward. This team is about especially European success. And if you look around Europe, look at what all the big teams are doing. They're bringing in quality number 9s. And Manchester City will be taking note of that. They will understand, look at what Chelsea's doing, look what the other teams, everybody has a definitive number 9 that they can turn around and say, that is my goal scorer. Do Manchester City have that at this moment in time? And that's no disrespect to Gabriel Jesus, Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling. We all know they're very, very good players. But in order to be successful, especially in the Champions League, you're going to need a quality striker.
Yeah, people have been getting in touch. Nick Parkin says, I think the Kane situation at Tottenham is really disappointing. England captain, he says Spurs captain. Loris is Tottenham captain, Nick, but I get your point here. Reports late from holiday, every other England player either played or on bench this weekend if they weren't injured. He should be ashamed, knuckle down and play football. Stephen Hampson says, Kane the Saint with a non-appearance and late back. How is he not getting more grief? That's what Stephen's saying there, hashtag transfer talk, keep them coming in. But Jaydee, from the Tottenham point of view, how will they have seen that performance without him? Because they've played well, clean sheet, they've beaten the champions without Harry Kane even on the bench.
I think at the same time, I'm going to actually take the manager's approach for the first time ever. I'm going to say it's only one game. I know you beat the defending champions. I know it's a great example in terms of the work that Nuno's been doing in pre-season. Anybody that's watched Spurs in pre-season, he basically took the same ethos of the hard work, the testament to all sort of his attitude and togetherness, and took that into the first game, which you expected watching any sort of Nuno Espirito Santo's team. But at the same time, you want your most important players to be playing. So there will be every Spurs fan will turn around and be smiling today because they got the 3 points, which is the important factor. But at the same time, you want your best players playing. And I'm not going to say it over and over again. There isn't probably a Spurs fan right now that would rather not have Harry Kane than have Harry Kane. And when I mean that, I say they would rather have Harry Kane secure his long-term future with the club. We know he's signed to 2024. We know that he's committed long-term. We know that he's expressed desire elsewhere. But at the same time, we want to see, and especially Spurs fans, because throughout the game, I love how they were singing for Japhet Tanganga. I love what they were singing in terms of the response to Oliver Skipp. Harry Kane is the prodigy. He is the first person within this generation, especially within this squad, that they all look towards that broke through. So they're going to want to keep, as they say, their own. And that's how I look at it.
Well, there was a lot of reaction to the fact that Kane wasn't playing yesterday after that game, and Mark McAdam can bring us some of it.
Yeah, fascinating to listen to you guys talking in the studio. But what about the Tottenham manager? Here's what Nuno Espirito Santo had to say after the game.
Look, Harry is one of the best players in the world, honestly. So we are very lucky to have him. So he has to get ready and help the team.
Do you expect him to be available for you against Wolves, your next game?
I don't know. We still have to go to Portugal. We still have to go to Portugal. And then we think about Wolves.
Yeah, fascinating to listen to the Spurs boss there. Manchester City had 66% possession, 18 shots, 4 on target and 0 goals. So are they in need of a new Aguero, or can Pep Guardiola do what he's done before and continue to play without someone classed as a striker? Team, what do you think?
Well, I suppose that one's for you, Kyle, isn't it? And you kind of touched on it, didn't you? Do they need that out-and-out number 9?
Well, 4 competitions, I've been quite honest about it already. We have got Ferran Torres, who we saw yesterday. We've got Gabriel Jesus, who came on. Jesus played 29 times in the Premier League last season, but a lot of them, he is playing on the left. He's not playing as that centre-forward. Even with Jesus and Sergio Aguero last season, we played with that false 9 position, Manchester City. So you're looking at them and you're actually going, what does Pep want to do? How does he want to play? Like I said before, they still won the Premier League. They still managed to do that. They got far in the FA Cup semi-final, winning the League Cup as well, Champions League final, all without a recognised striker. They can do it. They have done it before. However, yesterday, the Community Shield last week, the Champions League final, they've all proven that if we had that recognised striker who was playing for the full 90 minutes, when we get one of those chances that Mark has just said, one of those shots on target, hopefully it'd end up in the back of the net. We didn't see that yesterday. We've got some huge games coming up. Just through every single Premier League game, the pressure is on Manchester City right now. However, last season, they started even worse than they have done this season, and they still managed it. So you can never write off a team like Manchester City because of the manager, because of the players and the attacking threat they've got.
Tom, I'm just an advocate for playing your best players in their best positions. How many times have we seen Kevin De Bruyne play as a false 9? How many times have we seen Raheem Sterling fill in that position? We've seen Riyad Mahrez float in between. There has to be a definitive number 9, and there's world-class number 9s out there. We've seen the links of Manchester City. We've even heard Pep openly speak within this window about wanting to bring in Harry Kane. So I look at it, as much as you can turn around and see the optimism in his post-match and how he will give the respect to the players that he has right now, at the back of his mind, he has to be thinking that he wants a number 9. Surely, Carl.
I mean, £100 million on Jack Grealish, can they afford to? Who is out there? Romelu Lukaku's gone to Chelsea, £97.5 million. Erling Haaland, everyone's talking about. 61 goals in 62 games, I think it is now for Haaland as well. Is he going to leave this summer, though? Can Manchester City afford him this summer? There's going to be a race to get that signature next year as well. Who else is out there that is a world-class striker that Manchester City can sign right now?
Yeah, well, Manchester City fans, get in touch if there is somebody in your mind. Hashtag transfer talk, like Richard Foster has here. He says, people saying that Kane wasn't ready. He came back from an injury, made himself available for the Champions League final and other games because he wanted to play. Richard doesn't think it's anything to do with fitness and everything to do with him wanting to leave. He just wishes Kane would be honest, is what Richard says. And Liam says, completely agree with people about Kane's conduct. He was listening to his agent and ruining his own reputation, is Liam's point there. And he says it's becoming a bit of a joke now, so keep those coming in. But after the match, you had some differing opinion from the pundits, didn't you? You had Gary Neville was saying that, suggesting that Harry Kane would always make himself available, model professional. Michael Dawson, playing devil's advocate, was like, yeah, no, but he's only come back to training on the Friday, so maybe he wasn't ready. What do you think, Kyle? Are you on either one of their sides?
I mean, you can understand both points right there. Let's be completely honest. He has come back to training very late. Maybe that's through his own fault of being on holiday, then having to self-isolate and then coming back late, having to do all of the COVID tests and arriving Friday to train with the team under a new manager. He's not had enough time to then play Premier League football, one of the best leagues in the world. But that's his own fault, people can say as well. And let's be completely honest, it does not look good when your future is in doubt, when you are playing against Manchester City, the team that you are linked with, to then miss that game, to not even probably be at the stadium, possibly to not be on the bench, not feature at all. It's not going to look good. The whole of the football world are talking about Harry Kane and his future. So for him not to be there, for him not to be involved, like I said, it doesn't look good. People are going to talk about it. People are going to speculate. So I can see both sides of that argument.